Today we're going to be doing chapter 8 of Revelation out of the CSB. When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. Then I saw the seven angels who stand in the presence of God. 7 trumpets were given to them. Another angel with a golden incense burner came and stood at the altar. He was given a large amount of incense to offer with the prayers of all the saints on the golden altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints went up in the presence of God from the angel's hand. The angel took the incense burner, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it to the earth. There were peals of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. The translation I prefer actually says that they took a coal from the fire, put it in the incense burner, and then dropped the censer to earth. I like that translation a little bit better. It's a little more dramatic. What's going on here is that you're seeing the makings or the parts of Jewish liturgy at Jewish temple worship. That kind of ties into these angels. So the angels can either be the Jewish priest or it can be understood as the archangels. And the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to blow them. And that's supposed to invoke Jericho. And it's a way of saying, just like with Jericho, the walls will not protect you. So you're not safe. Even if you feel secure, you're not safe from God's judgment. The first angel blew his trumpet, and hell and fire mixed with blood were hurled to the earth. So 1/3 of the earth was burned up, 1/3 of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burnt up. So hell and fire are actually the 2 things that damage crops. That's why they're there. The second angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain ablaze with fire was hurled into the sea. So 1/3 of the sea became blood. 1/3 of the living creatures in the sea died, and 1/3 of the ships were destroyed. So that is saying that maritime business would be destroyed, which is what Rome and Greece and many of the great nations around the Mediterranean relied on. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from heaven. It fell on 1/3 of the rivers and springs of water. The name of the star was Wormwood, and 1/3 of the waters became wormwood. So many of the people died from the waters because they had been made bitter. Now, it's important to note here that the star is actually a reference to the Babylonian king, which in this case would be reference to the emperor of Rome, as Babylon had already fallen historically at this time. So they're using the Babylonian king as a metaphor. The 4th angel blew his trumpet, and 1/3 of the sun was struck, 1/3 of the moon, and 1/3 of the stars, so that 1/3 of them were darkened. 1/3 of the day was without light, and also 1/3 of the night. I looked, and I heard an eagle flying high overhead, crying out in a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to those who live on the earth," because of the remaining trumpet blast that the 3 angels are about to sound. The trumpet blast is saying that it's a warning. So this is a warning, and that this is not going to, even though it's going to affect everything, say it's going to affect the entire cosmos, it's going to affect the entire galaxy, it's not going to be a total destruction. There's going to be a remnant. So it's a warning, and it's saying that this warning is only going to affect 1/3 of all living things, of all life. But that this is going to be a total judgment, and it's going to it's not just going to affect the world. And the world here is the world around the Mediterranean, also the world around the Middle East. So it's saying it's going to affect the entire world. All the universe, all the cosmos is going to be subject to God's judgment. Or is subject to God's judgment. So that's what it's saying. And that 1/3 is going to be affected. It's not total annihilation, but it's a warning of what's to come. Here's your chance to repent, to be a better person, Have faith in God. Choose life. Don't choose death. Basically, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace, like, and subscribe. Talk to you all later. Hey, this is Ramon, channel is Alpha 4, and I lost my lapel mic, so we're back to headset. How's that? Okay, so let's do this. Chapter 8.